Hi everybody, it's Debbie here and welcome back to my Crafty Den. I have another DIY today. I've been trying to do as much of the farmhouse style decor. Oh, sorry for the noise. It's really cold here today and my furnace just keeps coming on. But I've been trying to do as much of the farmhouse decor as I can on a very low budget. I love the Rae Dunn and I would love to be able to get as many pieces as I can, but I have a couple of deterrents. One is my bank account and the other is the fact that I'm an hour and a half away from the closest place where I can buy it, and it's usually afternoon by the time I get there, and the stores that I'm going to aren't carrying a huge selection. So I absolutely love the little flower pot and tray, the flower pots and tray that I thrifted last week, I believe, and I will I'll put a card in the corner for that video if you haven't seen it. And I decided that I would like to try to do something like that. I'd like to have a set of the three. So I picked up at Dollarama for $3.50 3 galvanized flower pots with a tray, and this tray has these cute little handles on it as well. So I am going to take the plastic off. Rid of that, and I am going to paint these with the same paint that I painted my Lazy Susan last week. So I'm hoping I have enough of this because I custom blended this. So I am, get that color off the top there, I am going to stir this up really good so that I make sure I have the same color. And this is a kind of a creamy white with a little bit of a cream kind of undertone. It's just a really, like a pinkish cream. It's just a really pretty paint color. And when I put a piece of the real Rae Dunn beside that tray, this is really close. So I'm going to paint these. I'm going to start with, I think I'm going to start with the tray. And I brought in a couple of, I'm just going to use a small paintbrush because the big one doesn't fit in the jar. And I have these wooden, just a couple of pieces of plywood. So I can set this on top of there and these pieces on top when I want them to dry. That's perfect. So, and they dry better when there's air going all around them. So I'm going to scrape this into my jar. I don't need my stir stick anymore. And I'm just going to start, I'm going to set that over there on that plastic I ripped off. I'm just going to start painting. I'm going to start with the pots, I think. Yeah, I'm going to do the pots first. So what I'm going to do is just give these a really wonderful coat of this chalk paint. Now this is my DIY chalk paint, and it's just plaster of Paris mixed in a little bit of water and added to an ordinary latex paint. I just went and got a, you can go to any place that sells paint and buy a sample can. Now the sample cans are amazing because they go a long way when you're doing craft projects, and they're very cheap. You can pick them up for $4 or $5 at different paint suppliers. So, and they'll tint them, of course, because that's what they're for. They're for you to take that paint color home and put it on, you know, paint a piece on your wall so that you can see if that's what you like. My brother and sister-in-law right now have got swatches painted all over their wall in their living room, dining room area, trying to figure out what color they're going to paint their house. They just bought it, and everything is like off-white in there, kind of an off-white gray. So I'm going to do that much first. I'm not going to bother with the bottom. I'm going to make sure that I get around the rim, but I'm not going to bother with the bottom because that's going to be down anyway. So I'm just going to set a little bit closer. Just going to set that on there and let it dry. And I'm going to do the rest of it. Have 3 coats, I think, on the outside and 2 coats on the inside of these, and they're dry to the touch. It's definitely not cured, but it's dry to the touch. So the next step here is I want to put some wording on the outside of these. So I don't think I'm going to make it very big. I'm going to put plant. I'm going to use pencil so I can erase it. I want to. And I want this to look like, to me, the Rae Dunn script, the long letter script, looks almost childish. Like it's been written by a 3rd grader almost to me. So I love that idea. So I'm not trying to make these very perfect at all. The grow turned out good. I can make it that W a little bit longer, I think, and see how easy it is to change that because I wrote it with the pencil. There, that's a little bit better. So I want to put plant, grow, and thrive on here. That's too wide for a T. Remember, I'm trying to make them skinny letters. So I want my E to be a little straighter, just a little. It's almost hard to write the way I want to do it because your natural tendency is to try to make it as neat as possible, and that's not what these letters are all about. These letters are not all about being neat. I'm going to try to make that G a little skinnier. That's better. And I think I'm going to try to make the P a little thinner as well. There, better. Better. So then I'm going to go ahead and write over it with my magic marker, and I've just got a dollar store magic marker here. It says permanent ink. The cat is sitting in the chair beside me, and she's reaching her paws up onto the table and trying to sneak things off of the table. She's so funny. So plant, I'm going to see if I can make that top part a little straighter. So plant. And that one's a little uneven. I'm gonna make that V down a little bit further because it looks like it's starting to run uphill. And grow. Now, if you want these to be perfect, then you can still do if you've got a Cricut, you can do the skinny letter font and put them on use your Cricut and make a decal, or you could do a stencil, but I'm just quite happy with these the way they are. I think they're cute, actually. I'm going to make that E a little bit thicker, and it does kind of go up here a little bit, so I'm going to try to bring that down a little bit there, and a little bit there. There. Make that E a little bit more substantial. So this is what I have. Plant, grow, thrive. And I made the top of the letters go right along underneath this little, where the little ribbed edge is here that goes around the pots, so that it'd be in the same place on all 3 pots. And then I have to wax this to seal it. So I've got a little bit of an old white t-shirt. I took a little bit of my wax and just warmed it up a little wee bit in the microwave. I put it in a dish and warmed it up a little bit to make it easier to spread. And I'm just going to do a nice coat of wax over these pots. There. I need to bunch this up a little bit. There, that's better. I'm going to go over the printed words last, just to give them a second to dry. So basically what I'm doing here is just putting the thinnest coat of wax on here. If it looks like there's too much, I'm going back over and rubbing it off. So I won't put plants directly into these pots because they don't have any drainage holes in the bottom. They don't make very good grow pots for actual plants. Because of that, you'd have to be very careful watering. Nothing would drain. Or you could take a hammer and a nail and hammer a nail hole into the bottom if you wanted to. But I think what I'm going to do is leave them the way that they are. And then over the seasons, I can just take 3 little flower pots and put them in here and change the plants out over the seasons for spring and summer and winter. Winter would be nice with some cactuses in here. I'm thinking I'd like to do a nice, maybe a sofa table. If I can find an old used sofa table, you know, the ones that go along behind your sofa. And because that would be the perfect size for a plant table. So I'd like to paint an old sofa table and put it in front of my window to hold some of my plants. I don't have very many. I'd like to have more. I used to have tons of plants. And then over the years, each time we've moved, I've given them away and I've kind of gotten out of it, but I would love to have some indoor plants. So that one's waxed, that one's waxed. I put a teaspoon, just a nice heaping teaspoon of this wax into the into the dish and threw it in the microwave for 30 seconds. I didn't want to melt the wax. I just wanted to soften it. This wax is very, very hard. It's a little cool in here today. So it's hardening up very fast as I'm putting it on here. So it should buff to a nice shine. A little bit thick right there and right there. And then this one I want to give a nice coat to because this is the tray that holds it all. Let me get this up here where you can see it. And I am just going to do this and then I'll be done. Okay, so I used a chunk of t-shirt to put a nice layer of wax on it all. When I had it all covered, you saw I took another nice dry soft piece and I just like that until they weren't tacky anymore. So, and you can tell the difference when your wax is wet. It'll be tacky and it'll still be tacky until it's kind of buffed in. So I've got this done and it looks as cute as can be, but I do want to set it up a little bit. The weather here is still cold, miserable, and snowing. We have way too much snow. Yeah, so I have my last month's Scentsy Whiff box, and I have all of this purple shred. So I thought what would be really cute, because I want to be able to put something in these later, what I thought would be really cute to top these with some purple shred and give it a kind of a spring look. I love this stuff because you can use it, as long as you don't glue it to anything, you can use it over and over again. And when I'm done with this, I can just dump it back in my box where it was up on my shelf and wait till I need to use it again. I like that it's kind of like sticking out and it just looks, it's loose and fluffy and soft looking kind of. I like that because I'm going to put in here these succulent picks. So these are just the dollar store succulent picks, and what I was thinking was I will just set them in the top like that. Just set them in. I don't want to, will that go in there without cutting that off? I hope so. There, set that one in there. And now I have this pretty purpley one that can set right in there like that. Now look how stinking cute they are. So I'm going to put these up on my shelf. and I'll take a picture and I will show you. Like, this is what they look like. So here's what they look like on their little shelf. I think they are as sweet as can be up there. This is my tea shelf. I still have that heart up there. I can't bring myself to take it down. But they make a nice addition with a little bit of a spring look to them. And I think they are as cute as can be. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment and share. And by all means, if you're not already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon as well, so you don't miss any future videos. So bye-bye for now, everybody, and have a wonderful day.